Hello, this is Tom Chambers for PokerSavvy.com. I'm playing two tables of 3060 Stud 8 right now. Hopefully these games will both keep going through the whole video, but if necessary, I'll pull a 1020 table up. Lately, when I've played, at least there have been most times during peak times there have been two full games going for the whole time. So we'll see how that goes. I'm first on the waiting list on the second table. And here on this first table, I've got kind of an interesting situation. I'm the bring in with a 3, and I've got an overpair to the guy who completed board card. Pretty good chance he's got 3 to an 8. And although the club is not the best card for me to see him catch there, I've got too low on board. I look like I'm making a low and that he's one card behind on the low. I'm actually value betting my pair of 9s until the board gets scary enough that I feel like I have to take a free card. Obviously, as my board keeps on getting better, I'm going to keep betting. I've got an 86 draw, which has his best low beaten right now. His best low draw. Sorry, the best low he could have on 6th Street. I had a draw to beat it, and as far as he knows, I've already got a better low. There's a decent chance he's backed into 1 pair, 2 pair. Very rarely will that be better than 9s unless he river to 10 and has 10s up. So I'm value betting the river, hoping that he has any kind of a high hand and expects that I most likely have an 86 low. And let's see what he had. Yeah, he made 8s up. He actually started with split 8s and then paired the 2. So it's kind of an interesting spot. Usually when you have medium to even up to Broadway pocket pairs, but especially like 9s through queens, 9s through jacks, I guess I'd say. In stud 8, they're pretty dangerous and not usually very valuable hands at all. But when you've got a pair buried and you're up against you've got a low card up and you've got a pair buried and you're up against another low card, you often will find some situations where the deceptive value of your hand, it doesn't look like you have a high hand, will allow you to make a little bit extra money than that you wouldn't necessarily be able to if you had your hand more face up. Should go without saying that if there's an ace on board, that changes things dramatically. It's kind of a corollary to the idea that, which I've talked about in a previous study video, that when you have a low pair, a pair that is lower than 8s or lower, and another low card, and somebody opens with a low card that's not an ace, and they very often have a 3 low, you can generally profit by ISO re-raising. And that's a pretty standard thing to do. In this situation, on the high end at least, there's not much difference between the two situations. Of course, the danger is that if he catches low on 4th and 5th, then I end up having a pretty junk hand. But it's that situation doesn't happen nearly as often as one of the sort of in between situations where you can actually end up making a decent amount from your hidden pair. And of course, you also have the chance of catching what looks like a brick and making trips, which is obviously a very strong situation.